Hey everyone, this is Adam Smith, and I want to congratulate you right now for taking the time to discover your own unique love personality type. And based on your answers, you are what we call the meaning seeker, which is super cool. And I'm a little biased because that's actually what I am. I'm a meaning seeker too, which is awesome. But if you're anything like me, when I was first learning about love personality types, I didn't know what a meaning seeker was, and nor did I really care at all. All I wanted to do was to find someone who was compatible with me. And I just wanted to have some more reassurance that if I did get into a relationship, that things would actually be more likely to work out. And it was difficult because I wouldn't really know if this person that I was interested in was actually my type. And on the inside, I felt like I wasn't ever going to find anybody. And I kept dating and I spent months and months in relationships that I knew wouldn't even work out, but I didn't have the heart to leave because I was scared of being lonely again. Have you guys ever felt that way? I didn't know which was worse, like being alone or actually being in a relationship that I knew wasn't going to work out. So I'm like, something has to change. And that's when I discovered love personality types and that I was a meaning seeker. And I learned that we actually get our name from our desire to find meaning in life, right? So what I want to do now is I want to teach you a little bit more about meaning seekers, and this actually comes from a web class that I do, and um, and so I want to cut to that right now. So you're probably wondering what exactly is a meaning seeker, and what makes them so special. Well, I'm going to tell you. So, meaning seekers are 19.2% female, 13.5% male. So, we're intuitive, we have our feeling type, we love psychology and philosophy and finding meaning in life. We're usually very imaginative and we prefer to make decisions based on our own feelings and values. But more importantly, we actually crave authenticity in who we really are. Oprah, Johnny Depp, Will Smith, Mother Teresa, these are all meaning seekers. So, I actually set out to learn more, but then I had the thought, wait a sec, how do I know if someone's a meaning seeker or not? And one of the biggest questions that I get is, Adam, how do I profile someone correctly without making it too obvious that I'm profiling them and making it awkward? Well, the way you want to do it is actually give someone the exact same quiz that I just gave to you, which is awesome. And that's exactly what I want to teach you right now. So this system is super cool because it actually came from a guy. His name is Dr. Abiyah, and I actually got to meet Dr. Abiyah. In fact, he actually invited me to become on his podcast. And when I was featured on his podcast, Dr. Abiyah asked me these four magic questions, which would tell him what my love type is. And I was a little skeptical at first, but he asked me the questions, and I was surprised at how accurate his description was. It was crazy accurate. So after our podcast together, I started to get really excited because I'd found a shortcut, and I started testing it on my friends and certain couples. But after going to my friends, I knew that the ultimate test would be a couple who had been together for a really, really long time. And the first people I thought of were, of course, my parents. And so after 25 years of marriage, they were obviously the ideal compatible couple. So I went to my mom and I initially told her about love types, and I wanted to prove that she and my dad were compatible based on this system of these four magic questions. So I asked her, what do you like to do for fun? I was trying to figure out if she was more of an introvert or an extrovert. She's like, I like to go running and exercise and take hikes, but I'm usually by myself. So I knew she was definitely an introvert because she preferred to get energy by spending time alone with her own thoughts. Extroverts, they prefer to get energy by socializing the outside world. So introvert inside energy, extrovert outside energy. The next question was, if you won $10 million, what would you do with the money? And I was trying to decide if she was more like imaginative or more practical. She said, I would probably like to travel and maybe start a foundation or something like that. I don't really know. So I knew that she was more imaginative, or sometimes what we call intuitive, because she prefers to make decisions based on her feelings and her values. Does that make sense? So because she had started talking about wanting to travel, starting a nonprofit, there was no doubt in my mind that she was definitely imaginative. So on the other hand, practical is they like to see and hear and taste and touch and experience the world through their five senses. We call that sensing. So if she had started talking about this like step-by-step plan, she's like, I'm going to pay off debt, invest in stocks, and then purchase real estate, then she would have been more practical in the sensing type. Okay. So the third question was, what's your favorite movie? And I was trying to figure out if she was more of a thinker or more of a feeler type. And she said, I love the movie How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. So I knew she was definitely a feeling type because she seemed to be more connected to the relationships, the romance, the way the movie made her feel. That's the key. And she also mentioned the other characters, following their journey, connecting with the romantic aspect of the story, etc., things like that. So thinkers instead, they tend to think more about the special effects, how the movie was put together. They like to think through like the plot and the storyline, and if it's all connecting, making sense. So the fourth one, would you take a spontaneous trip on a work day? So for this one, I was trying to figure out if she was a judging type or more perceiving. She's like, how long are we going to be there, and who's all going to be there? And I was like, okay, well, that's a dead giveaway. The second that she asked how long we're going to be there, who's all going, who's paying for this, where are we going to stay, things like that, I knew instantly that she was more of the perceiving type. Like perceiving is you prefer a lifestyle that's like flexible, spontaneous, unstructured, things like that. And judging is kind of like a judge, right? You're very orderly, everything's on time, very organized. They prefer to have a lifestyle that's more structured and time sensitive. So I went to my dad next and asked him the questions, and you know what? Turned out they were perfectly compatible. I was a little scared at first because I wasn't sure if they were going to be, and then it would flaw this entire system, but it turns out they were. So it was awesome. Anyway, is this making sense? I hope so. So if you found this helpful, I would actually encourage you to attend the full web class where we actually do a really deep dive into love types. And in fact, I'm going to be hosting this full web class live this coming Thursday night, dedicated to helping you guys learn more about love types. And I'm going to be doing a special segment for meaning seekers only, which can be super fun. But I do have to warn you that I do have limited spots because it is going to be free. But if you do want to attend, you guys can get more details on the next page about registration and all that other cool stuff. Thanks for watching.